the aftermath of the Tumbler Ridge school shooting, false claims targeting transgender people are spreading online. Some posts have tried to link gender identity to violence, but experts say these claims are misleading and dangerous. Advocates warn that this kind of mistaken narrative can fuel stigma and put transgender people at increased risk. Kay Petrin is the co-founder of Trans Journalist Association and is our guest this morning. Welcome to Your Morning.
Thanks for having me.
It has been only one day since the RCMP revealed the shooter was transgender, and it has taken over a large part of the narrative on social media. What are you seeing and hearing online?
What we've seen is really similar to what we've also seen in past shootings in the United States, where people have claimed that there is a rise in mass shootings committed by transgender people. This is false. The Gun Violence Archive has some of the best data around on mass shootings, and they found that less than 0.1% were committed by trans or non-binary people over the past few years. But conservative commentators have increasingly tried to connect transgender people to mass shootings despite that.
Why do you think some people immediately tried to make this link between the shooter's gender identity and this tragic act of violence when there is no evidence to date?
So we've seen this as part of a larger pattern in misinformation that's tied to arguing for support for anti-trans laws and other hostile legislation and policy activity that's been occurring across the US. So it's been tied to claims that trans people should be institutionalized or that trans medical care should be restricted. And these claims that these are in various ways related to mass shootings have been used to spur and justify further anti-trans policy decisions.
South of the border, I mean, this used to come up often at the Charlie Kirk college debates where there's a stat that would be repeated and then the debate would go back and forth. But where did this idea come from that there is an increase in transgendered mass shooters?
So we started seeing this narrative around the time of the Uvalde shooting, where anytime there was a mass shooting, there would be a claim that the perpetrator was transgender. The first few instances, there was no credible evidence that the shooter was transgender, so it started as pure misinformation. And then a few shootings occurred, 4 notable ones in the United States, where the shooter did in fact appear to be trans. And that sort of fed into this feedback loop of broader misinformation. That Uvalde shooting was in 2022, and we've seen this misinformation and disinformation become more consistent each time there's a mass shooting, including attempting to tie trans people or, quote, transgender ideology to shootings like the Charlie Kirk assassination, where ultimately that information was discovered to be entirely false and was corrected and removed from the news reports that it was initially released in.
Okay, what kind of impact do those false claims have on transgender people and their communities, even when they are retracted?
It spreads whether or not it's true. It becomes very scary for trans people. People report getting harassed because of it. There have been, pictures posted of trans people who are completely unrelated to any of these crimes. Those people have been harassed. It's led to death threats. And, there are also some who are concerned that it may lead to actual in-person violence against trans people as well.
Your concern in the days ahead is the investigation is still underway. Police are still looking for motive. What is your concern in the days ahead as we head towards the weekend and then start another full week?
I think the big picture with this is when we talk about shootings and how journalists in particular approach mass shooting coverage, a lot of social science research points to fame as a key motivator for shooters. And so this hyperfixation on who is the shooter and why did they commit this crime? Some have argued it may even inspire additional mass shootings and have a detrimental effect on mental health, that we should be focusing on the victim, the community, recovery, and what effect this has on the social fabric. And so I think keeping that in mind and looking to who has been affected with this, what is the harm caused by it, what is being done about it, are the questions that we should be asking. And there's a distraction if we are hyper-focusing on a mass shooter.
Your concerns in the days ahead as we move forward, Kay, what are you watching for and watching out for?
We're keeping an eye on whether or not this rhetoric will escalate and change.
Kay Petrin, co-founder of the Trans Journalists Association. I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for coming on for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.